All right, welcome everybody. I'll continue to admit people, but I want to get started. We don't have too much time and do want to make sure I give our presenters plenty of time. We have a few items on the agenda, and then I just want to talk to you about our plans for subcommittees that we're forming. So we're going to start with Matt Stein, Matt is the director of our district communications department. And he's going to be talking to us about a couple of topics. The first being the renewing of continuing education program in the district. And then another initiative that I'll let him talk about when he's prepared. So without further ado, Matt, take it away.
Thanks, Dave. Can everybody hear me okay? I had some mic issues last time I was on a Zoom. Great, thanks. So as Dave mentioned, we are bringing back our continuing education program this spring. Like many schools, it went away during COVID. As we've looked around, many of our neighboring districts started to bring it back about this time a year ago or just this past fall. So we're pretty excited to get it back off the ground. I think me presenting to you here today is sort of twofold. One, to not only bring to your attention that it's back on the ground and that it offers some courses that do deal in the areas of wellness for our community. Not all, but many of the courses do. And second, I think that for many of you yourself or within your network, you may know people that want to offer a course in the future when we have our fall session coming up. And we most certainly would love to have any information or names passed on to us because we're always looking to add courses to our program. The more we can offer our community, the better. So that being said, I'm going to share my screen and just show you a little bit as to what is being put out there and what's going out to our community. So I'm assuming, Dave, I'll let you kind of be my answer guy here. You can see my screen of the North Colony homepage. Is that correct? Okay, everyone. So starting tomorrow, actually, I'll backtrack. I apologize. All of our catalogs are going into homes and hitting the mail probably tomorrow, or at least they're going to arrive in homes maybe somewhere around Monday. But starting tomorrow, we're going to change this kindergarten registration banner at the top, and we're going to put information regarding going to our continuing ed page. Our continuing ed population generally is a senior population, so we want it to pop right at the top of the screen for that population when they come to our website. But that being said, we are now going to have a continuing education link anchored right at the bottom of our page in featured links. The information that you're going to find here, one is our digital course catalog, which this is what is getting mailed to the homes in the next couple of days. It's just the digital PDF version of it, and it has all of the courses that are listed. I'm not going to take the time to go through all of those with you today. I'm hoping that you may take a peek to see what we have to offer. But as I mentioned, you're going to see things in the area of arts and crafts, business and finance, general interest. But then, of course, there's a number of courses that are fitness and activity related with dance and swim and exercise and physical fitness and recreation, and just a variety of courses. But something that's new this year is we are now going on into an online registration platform as well. For those that have had any exposure to our athletics department, we're using the same platform that we use our students to register to participate in athletics, and that's Arbiter Sports, formerly known as Family ID. And from here, when our community goes into our continuing ed dashboard, you can see at the top, it says the Stein family account, because I have an account from when I registered my kids to participate in sports. So essentially, they're seeing the same courses that are listed in our digital and print catalog that's going into all of our homes in the community. And it's as simple as, I'm going to pick this knitting class because you're going to see that for some classes, we have a senior citizen rate. We have a standard registration rate. I'm going to continue, and it's going to prompt, because I already did a practice registration here, but I just want to show everyone that. Bear with me a second. uncheck this one and continue for a second, that when the courses are selected, I'll pick a new one, sorry. The registration process isn't too difficult. Once you've set up your account, which we've provided some information there, but we have also, and this is the last piece I wanted to show everyone, the ability for our community to pay online as well. So we do accept debit and credit card, and they could submit their payment also, or they could submit the registration, also mail in a check as well. So we're trying to make this, you know, as 21st century as possible. We're also going to be doing a couple in-person registrations in February, because we know that we have a senior population that's what they're comfortable with, and we want to be able to provide that for those people. And all of that information essentially is located right here on our continuing education page. So that now can be found, like I said, on our website, always going to be anchored at the bottom right here under featured links. And for a couple weeks, we're going to put it at the top in a banner as well. So that sort of in a nutshell is our continuing education program, sort of relaunching again here in spring 24. And, you know, we're just excited to be able to offer these programs once again to our community. We're keeping our fingers crossed that our registration is solid. I will say that as I've communicated with some of our bordering communities that have started it back up, they have noticed that since COVID, there seems to be less of an appetite by the senior population to participate. So we're aware of that. And if we have to, going forward in the fall, try to get creative in ways that we can bring that population back or look to some new offerings that may spark a whole new population, that's something that we're always going to be considering as we analyze how our participation is going to be this spring. So I know I talked quick. I know I threw a lot out there. And before I move on to the second item I wanted to talk about today, I just wanted to see if anybody had any questions regarding our continuing education program starting back up. Tracy.
I have a question. Yeah. I know when I took it back probably in like 2019, there was an employee discount, and I didn't know if that still existed.
Well, I can tell you that when I took over the information from Ed Dopp, and I still have Mary Jo Costco, who assisted him, who's now assisting me, I was only made aware of a senior discount, not an employee. So I am not aware of that, and neither of them brought that to my attention, but that's something I can look to in the future. Our rates are set right now for this spring, but it's possible if that's something that existed, they didn't tell me, I can look into that. But I'm not aware, I was not made aware of that.
Matt, it is built into some of the union contracts, so you and I can talk about it tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good. Any other questions?
So Matt, just to elaborate on that topic, that's a good springboard. One of the questions that did come up in our office was if you are a district employee in any capacity, and Jenna, you can speak to this as well, but you're not a district resident, are you eligible to participate?
So anyone can participate, whether you're a district resident or not. The only component to that is if there is a limit to the number of participants, district residents get preference. But, from the conversations I've had with Mary Jo in the past, they have not run into that with the courses we are offering. There's some courses that were offered in the past that we don't no longer have the capacity to offer because of facilities. Those were some ones that sometimes became an issue, but not with the courses we're offering. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
And then you had mentioned at the beginning, if people had ideas or were interested, I think that, in addition to the people that are here at the moment, we have a lot of people that'll see this after we post it. So if they did have some ideas for the future, should they reach out directly to you, or is there a process that they should follow?
Yeah, good question. So right right on our catalog and right on our online registration page, we have the continuing ed at NCCSK email. So that'd be the perfect place for people to email and any ideas or thoughts they had on possibly adding a course.
Thank you. Anybody else? A lot of you don't have your cameras on, which is fine, but don't forget to unmute if you're trying to say something because we won't be able to see your lips.
this is Jenna. I just think that it's a great idea to bring this back, and I know that the senior community is going to be so excited. So kudos to Matt and his department for making it happen. I know it's a lot of work.
I agree. I can't speak to what the success of the program will be. I'm optimistic because I sit in the athletic office. I can tell you that there has been a lot of interest over the last couple of years, in particular for the morning swim. So I think that is going to be well received.
Yeah, and actually, I'm glad you mentioned that, Dave, because I'm trying to, sort of word of mouth bring this up wherever I can. One of the areas that we're lacking right now is we haven't received any applicants yet for lifeguards. That is a challenge. Essentially for our morning swim or for our two water aerobic, water fitness type courses in the evening. If we can't get lifeguards, we can't run the course. And that would be a shame because those are popular offerings in the past. So I know we posted and I know that, I've asked Dave to push it out to some of his teachers that teach our lifeguarding courses and know students that we have in the past that potentially could be our lifeguards. But that right now is something that, we have a little bit of time. The program doesn't start till after February break, but we certainly don't want to have to cancel any courses that are in the pool because we can't find lifeguards. So if you know anyone, we're looking.
One suggestion I might make for that, Matt, is if you guys put together like a flyer, a digital flyer, Canva, whatever, and you share it as a district communications department, we'll be sure to repost it with Shaker Athletics and Shaker PE on Twitter. And we've had some success. That account has grown over the years, as you're aware of, and we've gotten some coaching applicants through that. So that might be another avenue to explore.
Done. Well, we'll get it put together and we'll push it out.
All right. Any
That
other?
would be a good segue, Dave, to my other item. You want me to go right into that?
Yep. I don't see anybody else unmuting, so go for it.
So the other item is just a thought that the communications team had. I think if you followed any of the district socials this year, I think that we've really increased the amount of content that we've pushed out. We're really trying to make a great effort to cover as much of the successes and accomplishments and great things that are happening around our district, whether it's student related, staff related, community related. It's something that we really take pride in. But at the same time, we're also always looking into different ways that we can put a positive spin and a little bit more, meaning behind our social media presence. So one of the ideas that has come from Julie Catulus, who's one of our communications team members here, is exploring the idea of having a Wellness Wednesday post on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter presence. And really, it's taking a day instead of just having, and I don't want to use the word random, but it being some type of, random story from around the district, but on Wednesdays, those posts having a particular meaning. And we're really kicking around the idea of it just being driven around the concept of wellness, because as this committee very well knows, there's so many areas that can encompass. So, what we're thinking about is, it can be on Wednesdays, it can be anything that may be wellness related. That's a story that's happening in our district, or it might be some type of, wellness opportunity that's out in the community that we want to make people aware of. We're talking mental health, physical health, nutrition, all of the areas that wellness encompasses. But we also know that if it's something that we want to maintain once a week during the school year, that we can't we don't have the time or the resources to seek out the story each and every week that we need help from outside resources. So we're not only thinking about doing this, but the concept we're thinking about is using our help ticket system, which some of you may or may not be aware that communications is now working in the ticket system. And having just a Wellness Wednesday topic line that if someone wanted to submit something that's wellness related for our social media, that they can go into the ticket system and just submit it to us and we would get it on. What's nice about the ticket system is it helps keep us organized. As we all know, a cluttered inbox can be difficult. So that's what's great about the ticket system. It allows for people to attach files as well. So if this is something that we wanted to launch, if one of you had an idea, you'd be able to share it with us. You'd be able to attach any photos or flyers or PDFs that you wanted to have in our socials to go along with it. And we can do it. So again, I just wanted to sort of float the idea out to this committee to see if anyone had any thoughts or feedback on the concept. And you don't have to answer this today, but if you thought it was a good idea, if people on this committee would be willing to help contribute to some items throughout the year that we could help promote. So Wellness Wednesday social media, any thoughts?
Hi, Matt, it's Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi. No, I think that's great. I think there's so many things that around the building, just high school speaking, that can contribute or advertise for the future upcoming. So definitely good ideas. I know there's a lot of different stuff that goes on in PE and in health, and just showcasing that. And then obviously other things that staff that do and students do that we, even just like talking about the social media that the students did, I find that to be a huge part of wellness. So there's a lot of different aspects already at the high school, let alone throughout the other levels.
Thank you, Sarah. And I know that, one of our thoughts about our social media being a little bit more mission driven is, we have our social emotional pillar, we have the pillars of our mission statement, and social emotional is one of them. And we feel like through our messaging, this can be a way that, we're able to address that pillar to our community and the people who follow our social media. So yeah, thank you, Sarah. I know just from our health and PE staffs around the district, we can get a lot of content, but I know we have people who are in other areas that are involved in this committee that very easily, could help us with content. I mean, I know just from food service alone, some of the ideas that they send us that we come cover, can contribute, to an idea like this as well. So there's a lot of ways that, we could run with this idea, I think, in the different things that are going on in our district and our community, not just district. We want it to be a community-based concept as well.
I just wanted to say, Matt, Renata.
Hi, Renata.
How's it going? I wanted to say I love this idea of the Wellness Wednesday. I think that was it's really, it's going to be very positive for the community and send a really positive message. But the other thing I was thinking about is, the school counselors as well throughout all the buildings, they might have some ideas. They have a lot of programs that they're working with the students. And I just thought some footage of them even working with the kids with certainly like they have, like there's like fill the bucket programs. There's all these different types in the elementary buildings as well that they do to bring forth positivity and mental wellness. And that just popped in my head. I just thought that might be also another resource for you.
I think it's a great point. And I think, if this is something we do run with Renata, that obviously we would advertise to the entire district, say, hey, if you want to submit, please do. But we would probably have an even more targeted message to particular departments. And as I mentioned, when I mentioned health and phys ed and food service before, you bringing up the fact that, getting to all of our counselors and anyone that's working, in the mental health, scope, so to speak, targeting them as well is a great idea.
Matt, another idea for how to get this out there and kind of to what Sarah said and Renata, you know, we want it to be district wide, which is can be a challenge. You know, we kind of work on our silos here. But I know that the district purchased Rise Vision software that is able to be used on various TVs throughout the district. Might be worth a conversation with IT to see if there's a way where we could, you know, share the information via that. So it's going into each of the buildings for the administrators to decide how they wanted to spread.
Gotcha. So is that, I mean, I know from my last role with you, you know, we started to dabble a little bit with using Rise Vision. Is that something that is getting utilized a little bit more in some of the buildings?
So I had a conversation with somebody in IT today about it because we just got a TV installed over at the middle school in the lobby of the phys ed area that I wanted to utilize Rise Vision. And he said that, you know, we do have that ability to use that TV, but I got the sense that it was available to other buildings and throughout the network of television throughout the district. So I think maybe a conversation with Julie to get more information would be great.
Sounds good. All right. I
Okay.
guess I appreciate the feedback, everyone. And you know, I think the chances are probably better than not that we're gonna roll forward with something related to Wellness Wednesday and our socials. So just keep your eyes peeled for some emails and some messaging where we're encouraging people to give us a helping hand with some content and just continue to create positivity. And thanks for the time today.
Well, thank you, Matt, for this, you know, good information to share with this group. And, you know, we'll look forward to continuing the conversation. And if anybody that's on at the moment or views this at a later time has any ideas or questions, feel free to reach out to me and I can forward it to Matt or however you see fit. But, you know, this is going to go out to a lot of people. So I don't want people to be shy about asking questions or sharing ideas. So with
May I
that,
share an idea why we're all here together?
yes, absolutely, Michelle.
I really like the morning announcements because I think every school has a morning announcement and we could do like a very brief Wellness Wednesday tip. That could be, you know, say something kind to someone or take 6 deep breaths when you're in science class today, or something very simple, like a little something that's put out there. It doesn't take more than a minute or two. And that would be something that could be across the whole district as well, which would spread the concept of wellness in general, let alone a practical wellness skill that could stick with students. This is an idea.
Michelle, am I remembering correctly, like a couple years ago, first in September, I believe it was, didn't you do something with it? Like it was broadcast district wide? We did.
Yeah.
We did, like, because I remember because I actually still do it when I can't sleep. Weren't you doing like the tapping with the fingers?
I do tapping, but that wasn't what was broadcast through the whole.
Maybe I observed it another time, but
Yeah.
that stuck with me.
Yeah, tapping's wonderful. Tapping it takes a little more than a few minutes, but yeah, tapping's really great.
All right. Any other thoughts at this time? Okay, then, Alex, if you're good to go, I'm going to turn it over to Alex Clements.
Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, can you guys all see the
Yep.
screen? Okay. Let me just. All right, so I just wanted to give you guys some updates on what's happening in the food and nutrition world. So we had a January 12th staff workshop on the superintendent conference day where we had 2 groups of guest speakers. The first was an introduction to halal food preparation through interest in community members. So here's a little bit of that. So the training was brought on by the Islamic community in Latham. And they gave us just like a brief overview of what halal is, like kind of like a halal 101. So they talked to our staff what about what halal means, what makes a food halal, food preparation and cross-contamination. It's definitely something that we would like to incorporate a little bit more into our cafeterias. We're not there yet. We're not experts, but it was a really good conversation starter, and all our staff got very engaged in the oh yeah, on the one guy on, if you can see on the left picture in the middle, he was a Shaker grad, so that was really cool, kind of a full circle moment. So that was the first hour of our workshop, and then the second hour we had a culinary demonstration by our friends at Forts Ferry Farm. So for those of you that don't know, or were on other calls or wellness meetings, we're a part of a Farm to Institute 1-year mentorship program, and one of our goals for the cafeteria was to get more staff training and have culinary workshops. So John from Forts Ferry Farm graciously came to our Shaker High School cafeteria, and he did a full demonstration for our staff where he made a farro salad, and he made 2 different kinds of homemade salad dressings. And I think this was really great because I feel like we talk about doing things all the time, and I'll menu certain things, and it was really cool for him to just like show them step by step, and for them to have the hands-on experience, and they got to try the farro salad and just get different ideas for the products that we already use in the cafeterias. And then this is just a picture of that farro salad on the left-hand side. And then this is our full management staff team, and then some of our other part-time employees that were interested and just wanted to participate. That's all I have. Super quick. But I know that at our next meeting, we really want to present on how our free breakfast and lunch participation is going.
Thank you. All right, give me 1 second. And while I'm setting up, I just want to bring up the agenda here. If anybody had any questions or thoughts for Alex or Lisa, feel free to interject, because I cannot see most of you. So, okay. So I just wanted to spend a couple minutes here talking about kind of like next steps, because we've had quite a bit of feedback and ideas and willingness of people to get more involved than just the month or the few meetings that we have over the course of the year. So I came up with, well, we came up with, I should say, like 4 categories. So employee wellness, community outreach, student wellness and nutrition, and district wellness policy. So subcommittees that we'd like to get everybody involved with in some way, shape, or form. And, you know, I've sent out a flyer for people to sign up with a form. And we've had some people that filled it out, but I wanted to put it out there one more time before I formed the distribution list and set up the meetings. Again, it wouldn't be a huge commitment. You know, I think I'd do it over Zoom to try to make it as convenient as possible for people. And this would be an opportunity for people that have expressed an interest or have an interest to, you know, kind of have a little smaller group to discuss these topics and come up with some actionable items from there. So, you know, I've had, just for some examples, I've had conversations with some of you about employee wellness, and like, what could we do, like to Matt's point, like whether it's Wellness Wednesday, or some of the ideas that have been kicked around a little bit are like to create some little videos. So perhaps faculty, when they get a few minutes to themselves, they could do like some chair yoga, or, you know, we could have a series of those and post them on the district website to the district wellness page where we post these videos. It could be potentially, you know, something a step up from that. So we go from like a chair yoga that you could do in your classrooms or your space that you have, up to maybe it's more of a, if you had a mat and something like where you could had a little more space, or it's body weight exercises if you wanted to do it at home. Even the beauty of the internet, we all know, is you can do it from anywhere. So to provide some resources utilizing some of the knowledge and expertise we have within our committee and within our district to provide some services and some opportunities to anybody, you know, it could be anybody in our district, anybody in our community or beyond. You know, and that could be that could also be a part of community outreach, or there could be other ideas that come out of the community outreach subcommittee. Student wellness and nutrition, you know, we've had some conversation about food opportunities or choices under that category. New things that I haven't thought of. There's plenty of ideas I'm sure that other people in this committee might have regarding student wellness. And then one thing that Lisa and Alex have been working on a little bit already is the district wellness policy. We're due to review and revise that. So, you know, we would like input from, you know, a cross section of our district wellness committee to weigh in on that as well. Because that becomes a board policy, gets, you know, reviewed and voted on by the Board of Education. So it's definitely something that we'd like to get, you know, more than just the three of us to look at. So I will send out the flyer one more time, the form, give people one more opportunity to sign up. And then I would say by the end of next week, I'm going to put together the distribution list to the people that signed up. I'll pick a date and a time for us to get back together. I'd be looking for people, you know, if somebody would like to, you know, take the initiative to kind of run those. I mean, I don't mind being a part of them, but you know, there many hands make light work. So if there's somebody that would like to take the initiative, please let me know. And then from there, our next meeting as a group will be March 21st. And I hope is that at that time, we'll be able to report out on those 4 subcommittees and talk about the recommendations and get feedback, and then take next, you know, action steps for, okay, here's where we're going to go from there. So I'm going to zoom back out here so I can see everybody a little easier. Stop sharing. Okay, so I'm going to go around the horn. I'm going to put you on the spot because sometimes I think that, you know, people are a little shy. So I apologize in advance, but I'm going to put you on the spot here. And if you had any questions or ideas or thoughts, now's your opportunity to voice your mind. So Tracy Reingold, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I guess when I was looking at all the committees, like I could see being in any of them, and I just picked one. So my attitude is sort of like, if you find one committee very heavy, then you can put me in the one that's a minority.
Okay, appreciate the flexibility. Michelle, I'm not sure, that's Locke, I don't know who's there with you. I can't. Either of you have anything you wanted to add?
No, not really. No.
All right.
Administrator, I'm one of the orchestra teachers at the middle school. I wanted to share that we started working with a therapy dog at the middle school on Wednesdays, and it's Dan Schwannier's dog Doppler, and it's been wonderful. He comes into the classrooms and in the hallways. He visited the orchestra room. The kids had such a great time meeting him. So I just wonder if we can get more of that throughout the district.
Okay, so maybe that you may have just volunteered or put us in touch with that person, and maybe we get them on the one of those subcommittees to talk about that.
It's Dan Schwannier. He's a retired band teacher though from the middle school.
Okay.
So
Maybe
he comes in every Wednesday morning, and it's great.
Fantastic. Well, I'm an owner of 2 dogs, so you're
Yes,
talking to the
me
right
too.
person.
I have a chocolate lab. Yeah.
Yeah, we should have a bring your dog to the wellness committee day.
That would be great.
But anyway, if you don't mind, shoot me an email so that way I don't forget.
Okay.
All right, Coach Ryan DeGear, health teacher, Shaker High School.
No, I just think the more info out there and more things on physical activity, health, and mental health, the better. So I think this is awesome.
And you guys have a front row seat with all our sophomores at the high school with that portion of things.
Yeah.
Nikki Blacknick.
So one of the subcommittees I was really interested in was focusing on faculty and staff wellness. When I was a teaching assistant at Burnt Hills a few years ago, I ran workout classes after school for both faculty, staff, and students. The complications with that was they had to be after school help hours. So faculty and staff and students would have to wait till like 3:15 to get started. But a lot of faculty and staff showed up, not so much students, but in terms of faculty and staff overall wellness, I think that's a great idea and I would love to get that started again. In any capacity. If I lived closer to here, I would do maybe morning ones. But right now, morning wouldn't be something for me, but definitely after school. And all different levels of fitness, just like mobility, HIIT workouts, lifting, kind of whatever people are more interested in.
Thank you for sharing. And just to give a little background, before COVID, Janet Bonjamina, our HR director, and myself, and I don't want to leave anybody out, but we worked out, a program for our employees through the continuing education program at that time, where we had some yoga and we had some HIIT. And literally, I think we maybe had a couple classes of each, and then March 2021 hit, and everything stopped. So, I think that that's something that we could potentially look at bringing back. And, I think that we might be, seeking out your help when the time comes.
Awesome. When it was at Burnt Hills, it was like right after COVID, like when schools were trying to get back to the way they used to be. So I think that was also hard because we picked it up in January, right when masks were lifted and everything. So that was kind of a hard way to pull people in, but I think now it'll be definitely more of interest to a lot of people. So awesome.
Very good. All right. Renata, I know you've already said a few things, but if you had anything left.
I think I signed up for every committee because
All right.
I wasn't sure which one I was really going to be, that'll be a fit for me. I said, well, I figured I'll join them all and see which one is the best fit. And then maybe I can weed some out,
More the merrier.
I do have a question though. With respect to this committee, I'm a little unclear because I'm new, so I apologize. Is this mainly for the high school? Or is
No, it's
this
for
more,
everybody.
it's the
It's a
district?
district-wide, yeah. So like the district wellness committee, the policies for the whole district, initiatives can be for every
Okay.
level. So like, I want to get a cross-section of people because it is complicated, especially with varying schedules, start times, end times. It can be difficult to get everybody on the same page. So if
Right.
I couldn't speak necessarily to everything that's going on in any particular elementary school, like they probably couldn't to the high school. So that's why, getting good membership is important.
Yeah, I can speak a lot towards the elementary, so that's what I was wondering if.
You're signed up for all four.
Okay, and Nikki, if you do weight training, I'd love that.
You got it.
All right. Matt, I'm not sure if you're still there or not. I know you already said a lot, so I can skip over you unless you have something.
I'm good, thank you.
All right, Luna, are you there?
On my camera.
Oh, yeah.
Hi. Yeah, I'm a parent representative, so I just want to say thank you so much. It's my honor to be the committee. So I only be this meeting second time. I just want to see, I was amazed to see the great work all the teachers and the staff did for the school, for the students. If I'm not in this meeting, I won't be able to know. So I sum up, let me see. I think I just want to introduce myself. I have two daughters. One's in high school, another in middle school. In addition to academic, they also are athletes. So the reason I joined this committee, I believe I signed up two of them because I just, feel like nowadays, like youth today, they are bombarded with the image from multiple sources all the time. So because they live in a society that constantly tell our kids this message about what they should look like, what wellness look like, what is health, and it's so difficult. I can tell from my kids, at least her friend, they trying to internalize their own perception about what's their own, the health, what's the wellness, what's the self-worth is. So they spend so much time. School, as a parents, we do the best to teach them, the right perspective, what they think about their life, what they say. So I'm hoping if in this committee, with all the help and expert from the teacher and staff and resources, to just teach our kids, hopefully skills to help them to live peacefully and healthfully. So I'm excited just to, work with all the teachers, or, if something as a parent, I can be the voice to tell all the other parents to just help our kids to thrive in the school. Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you for that. What grades did you say your kids are in?
I have one older one in ninth. The
Okay.
second one, she's sixth. Yeah.
Okay, so she's coming into the district. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that next year, I'm gonna pick on Ryan DeGear, who's on here. They'll be registered for high school health, so they'll definitely get quite a bit of that, and through our subcommittees, that if that were something that you wanted to get involved with student wellness, we could do some, brainstorming on some additional ideas.
Yep.
And, we also are fortunate to have health in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and now we have it in the elementary schools too. So, it's definitely something that we pride ourselves in, and we want to continue to grow the program with student wellness. So thank you so much.
Oh, great. Thank you.
All right, Gina, or I know HR had to step out. So do you have anything you want to add, Gina Crispo?
Hi, I wanted to branch off of the idea about having the support therapy dogs come around. I will say that one day one came around to central office, and that was like the highlight of my day. It was amazing. It was just so nice to just stand there and pet the dog for a couple minutes. And yeah, I really like that. So if we can get some dogs to central office, that would be great.
Love it.
Since you're on that topic, can I add something? Sorry, it's
Yeah,
Brianna.
Brianna, you were coming up, so now's your chance.
Perfect. So just something to put on everybody's radar. There's nothing set in stone yet, but we did put together a very small committee here at the police department for looking into therapy dogs, what the cost would be, what other departments in the area have, because it definitely seems to be growing. Albany PD has a therapy dog, so does SUNY Albany and Schenectady. So we are in the beginning stages of looking into that. So I just kind of wanted to put that on the radar. So nothing set in stone, but we do have a committee that's researching that at the moment.
Thank you. Well, if I'm keeping score here, I think we're getting therapy dogs everywhere. Miss Armstrong.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
We can.
Yeah, I wanted to also just talk about the dogs. My parents are both PE teachers in Westchester, and I know that there's even grants you can write for dogs. So I don't know if we want to even look into that, Officer Pierce, or other things like that. But yes, definitely the dogs. The kids definitely need some furry friends in their lives. So thank you.
Excellent. Lisa or Alex, you guys have anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. I think we're good.
All righty. Coach Hosley.
I'm here. No, I just like I really like the idea of Wellness Wednesday and everything that we talked about. I like what Nikki shared. Sometimes we get so caught up in being great teachers and what's best for the students and offering them every possible thing we can, which is great. But sometimes even just a little, once a month or once a week, yoga after school for the faculty or something, it really goes a long, long way with mental health and everything for the faculty, just offering something small like that. I know in past districts, yoga for faculty has been a big hit. And we touched base on with COVID and everything, it was tough to get some of those things up and running. And since then it's kind of been slow, but I love that we're getting continuing ed back and just opening up more opportunities for community and hope faculty as well. But no, a lot of good stuff. I like the direction we're headed.
Great. And last but not least, our Assistant Superintendent for Business, Mrs. Sybil Howard.
Hi, Dave. Sorry I was a little late coming to the meeting, but I've enjoyed listening to everyone's conversation. I can report that I made Dan come here to central office with Doppler as the condition for approving him to be at the middle school, because I too am a dog lover and a big believer in therapy dog programs in schools and what they can do for kids and adults. But we do have a process in the district for that. And I asked Davis Chamberlain if he would kind of be my ambassador for that process, because we have board policy and there are some forms and some things that would need to happen. We are certainly conscious of allergies and circumstances surrounding kids' lived experience with animals. So we want to be sensitive to those things as well. So I can maybe be helpful in that area if we want to see that happen more in the district. And then Dave, would it be helpful for you if I reached out to our policy service to see if there are any updates on the wellness front?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Awesome. Thank you. So I'll hold off on bringing my dogs to the office.
Please do.
Okay, well, I think I got everybody. We really appreciate the participation of everyone here today, as well as out in the World Wide Web. So again, don't hesitate to reach out to me, and we'll get the subcommittees going, and look forward to reporting out at our next meeting in March. And with that said, I will invite everyone to go, that is a dog owner, to go home and see their therapy dogs on their own. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.